Hello there guys, Riverter coming here at you. I attended the pre-release for Ravnica Allegiance this past Saturday, and when I went into this pre-release I really kind of had two different guilds that I wanted to play. One of them was Gruul, and then the other one was Ozhov. I did get to play Ozhov. This is the deck that I ran, and as you can see, I had pretty good mana curve. I had some lower cost in removal, as well as some upper cost removal here with the Consigned to the Pit, which is it's a 6-drop, but it it destroys the target creature, and it also does 2 damage to that creature's controller. So you get a shock out of the cost. So anyway, went 3-1 for the day. On the match that I lost, it was against a Systemic, and anyway, I didn't get any of my removal, and it was primarily a Systemic deck, I guess I should say, but my opponent splashed also some black and red into it as well for removal. And anyway, but my foil promo was the Ethereal Absolution. This card in limited or seal is just beyond awesome. It just, if I got it out every game that or every matchup that I went against, I got it against, except for the one that I lost. I didn't get it out against that opponent. It might possibly have made a difference. I don't know, because I really didn't get any of his creatures into the graveyard to be able to exile. Anyway, this card, all your creatures get a 1/1. Your opponent's creatures gets a -1/-1, and you can pay for black-white 2 other and exile a card from your opponent's graveyard. If it is a creature card, it gives you a 1/1 flying black-white spirit token, which in turn actually makes it a 2/2 with that card. There was one other card that I got in my packs that I didn't run it. I wasn't for sure exactly how this card would play out. I mean, it might be real good in a tokens deck, maybe. Although with token, you really want to be swinging all out with your tokens. Other than you just want one big one. So anyway, I didn't run it because I really just didn't feel like it played too well into my deck. And like I said, I went 3-1, so I was fairly happy with. So anyway, quickly go over the cards. I had a Thirsting Shade, which is a 1-drop black. You can pay 3 and give it 1/1 till the end of into the turn, and it does have lifelink. Then I had Twilight Panther, which is a 1/2. You can pay 1 black and give it Death Touch. So that just a couple of 1-drops to kind of get the game. Hopefully, you don't want to run too many 1-drops. I found in either sealed or limited draft. So then I had in my 2-drops, I had a total of 7, which may be a little bit too much, but it seemed to work real well. So I had a Syndicate Guild Mage, which it's a 2/2, and you could pay a 1 white or white and 1 other, and you could tap you tap your opponent's creatures down, as long as it was 4 or greater on power. Or I could do 4 and black and tap it, and it would deal 2 damage to a target opponent or a planeswalker. So not too bad. Then I had 2 of the just 2-drop black and white, and it's a 2/1 with vigilance and afterlife 1. These were really well, for blocking and for attacking. Because if it became a 1 white and white, that was okay, because hopefully in a few turns we'll get down the ethereal absolution. And then I had a Pitless Pontiff. Anyway, you pay 1 and sacrifice another creature, and it gets death, touch, and indestructible. So it worked well in this deck because, like I said, I had a way to generate tokens, so it was a repeatable ability. So then I had this guy here, this little 2-drop. It's a common card, but whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. This card actually won me a few matches. As funny as that is, because it was gaining me life every time a creature entered the battlefield. So if I was exiling a creature from my opponent's graveyard, had a spirit come in, I was gaining life, which was good. And then I had this little 1/3 flyer just as a kind of some protection early game in the air if I needed it. And then I had this Final Payment's 2-drop, and it's instant. You can sack a creature, pay 5, or sack an enchantment, and it destroys target creature. There was some good early cheap removal. You could, like I say, either sack or you could pay 5 life. I did both. I even was even able to do an enchantment one time. My opponent was running and I don't remember the name, I apologize, but it's the blue enchantment that lets them scry over upkeep, and then you could pay, I think it's 6, and swap it with another permanent on the battlefield. My opponent did that, swapped, took one of my, what did he, oh yeah, he took my Ill-Gotten Inheritance, which was a 4-drop, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you gain a life, your opponent loses a life, and you can actually pay 6 and deal 4 damage to them and gain 4 life. So it was you could late game instant win if your opponent was 4 life or less. So then I had 2 other Bring to the Trial. I ran 1 main deck just to kind of deal with things if I needed to. It was exile target creature with power 4 or greater. Not really what I wanted with this, because of the ethereal absolution, but sometimes exiling a big creature over just constantly getting taking damage is a good thing. I had the Noxus Guardian. It's just a 2/2 death touch for 3. Then I had the Forbidding Spirit. It's a 3/3 for 3, 2 white and 1 other. It just puts a ETB on the field where your opponent has to pay 2 for each creature that attacks that next turn. So kind of maybe slows the tempo down a little bit. Anyway, and then I had a Grotesque Demise for 3. It exiles target creature power 3 or less. Then I had a Vizcapa Vampire. It's a 3-drop for a 3/1 lifelink. And then I had a Spire Mangler, another little flyer, 2/1. I had Flash, and when I plays another creature with flying, gets 2 on the front to the turn. Which I think once maybe I got to use that one ability one time to put on a spirit to take out one of my opponent's bigger creatures. Then I had the in the 4-drops I had the Basilica Bell Haunt. It's a 2 white, 2 black, and enters the battlefield, and it's a 3/4, and I gain 3 life, and the opponent has to discard a card. Ill-gotten inheritance, like I discussed earlier, gain 1, they lose 1. Then I had Spirit of the Spires. It's a 2/4 flying for 4, and other creatures you control with flying get a +1 on the butt. So that was kind of a good deal, especially with my spirit tokens flying. And then I had, excuse me, Archway Angel, 6-drop, and it enters the battlefield. You gain 2 life for each gate you control. Really wasn't too relevant in this deck, as I only had 2 of the Ozhov decks, or gates rather, so it wasn't just overly beneficial in that aspect. But it was a 3/4 flyer, and a 3/4 flyer in limited is pretty, or in seal is pretty good. I had 2 consigned to the pits. Like I said, they were a little bit costly on the mana, but a 6-drop, and it destroys and does 2 damage, so it's okay. And then I had, of course, the Ethereal Absolution, and then I had one other one of the split cards, Consecrate, which is exile target card from a graveyard, and I got to draw a card, or Consume is target player sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures, and they control, and I gain life equal to its power. So a little bit of life gain, and removal of a big creature, hopefully out of the battlefield. Sideboard, the only thing I really kind of ever sideboarded in was this Exposed to the Daylight, which is destroy target artifact or enchantment. To deal with enchantments, like I said, they had the one enchant that would allow them to swap out. Systemic was running that to allow it to exchange out that enchantment for another permanent on the battlefield. That's really the only card I just ran this deck exactly like it was. It ran really well, except for the one time, like I said, and I just didn't get any of my removal. But anyway, like I say, I went 3-1 for the day, which I was proud of, and so I got three booster packs, which I'll be opening a little bit later on. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Remember to please like and subscribe. Comment down in the comments below and let me know. Maybe should I have ran the angelic exaltation? Should I ran it in the in my deck? Am I missing something there? Comment down below with if you see something maybe I could have done a little bit different. Anyway, like I say, thanks again for watching the video, and you have a great day.